I am Deana Haggag. I am an arts worker and administrator, currently in philanthropy, and I am here today with Topical Cream, filming their RX Studio series with the artist Francesca Wade. Hi, Francesca.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. I love that we are not just in your studio, but we're in your home.
Absolutely. It's one place where everything happens.
Everything happens.
Everything happens. It's where I parent, it's where I wake up, it's where I go to sleep, it's where I do all my work. So my painting certainly has a domestic practice here.
Home has been many places for you.
Home has been many, many places. I was born in England and I grew up in England, Scotland, Egypt, and Norway. We were constantly moving. I've been here in New York for 8 years, and I was in Brazil for 6 years before that, and Italy for a couple of years before that. So it's been pretty non-stop, but this certainly feels like home now.
I love that you've made New York your home because it has been beautiful to develop a friendship with you over the last year. And I want to talk a little bit about how you came to painting. It has not been the typical art school to painting pipeline. So tell us a little bit about how you came to make these beautiful, beautiful paintings.
Yeah, definitely not a traditional path at all. I have a previous career in design and creative production. I sort of used to joke of like, people used to ask me what I do and I'd be like, what do you want me to do? You know, like that sort of hustler attitude. But honestly, I always felt like something was missing. And during the pandemic, my daughter, who is now 5.5, she got COVID, and it was right at that time where we had to quarantine for 14 days. And over that quarantine, we basically painted through everything in the house. And eventually we ran out of materials. And so I think we still had like 8 days of quarantine to go, and we were working really fast. And after a while, maybe half an hour, 40 minutes or so, she got bored. And I continued actually for hours on that piece. And I remember and it was on the floor, so I remember when I stood up and it was finished and I looked at it for the first time and I was like, this is it.
Tell us a little bit about the community of artists that support you through all of this.
There are two very good friends of mine, Colleen Herman and Maya Lee, and they are two artists who really encouraged me to do this. They were like, get a studio, keep doing this, whatever it takes, go for it.
Where are you drawing inspiration from for these paintings?
The inspiration has been my daughter. Most of my career has been producing things, designing things, making things with a brief. And that brief has not always allowed me this kind of spontaneity and experimentation. And I just watched Roshi, like on her hands and knees on the floor, grabbing another color, making a mark, not really thinking necessarily about exactly what she was doing in the moment. But once she had finished her painting, if you asked her, she had a very clear narrative. And I found that really, really inspiring. I thought for so long that I had to do, and now I really believe that it's about being. So a lot of my work, particularly sort of what we're looking at around me right now, is very much about energy and connectivity, and it draws inspiration from nature and growth. I mean, I have a lot of plants in here. I love to watch things grow.
It's funny you said that nature is such a reference for you. A lot of them feel like landscapes for me. Like they feel like abstracted, deconstructed landscapes, and then some of them start to take on these like more cosmic forms.
When I started making these ones, I sort of thought of them as energy-scapes. Like it's a landscape, but it's energy, and is it the sky or is it water? We don't really know, but it certainly is coming from a place of nature, but it's more about movement. But then certainly in something like this, for example, I am exploring more of a landscape.
Well, some of them also take on like a kind of dreamscape quality. Francesca, one thing I'm really struck by is you saying that you love to watch things grow. And I just love that you have had an entire career and an entire life, and now you're beginning this whole practice as a painter, and you're letting yourself grow into that. And I think that's really beautiful. I just want to name, like, we are in front of one of your massive works on canvas. Mm-hmm. And we are also sort of situated in between, again, some smaller works, some really sort of human-sized works. And I like the scale really is beautiful. The exploration in scale is really beautiful.
At the beginning, it was everything was big, right? Everything was on sheets because it took me a while to actually buy canvas. Like, it just didn't occur to me to move into another material. But from there, I experimented a lot with lots of different sizes, how I can bring the same messages and this same style into smaller pieces.
And what are you thinking about the most in the studio right now? Scale, color, stroke? Is there something you're really focused on?
Over the last 3 years, there has been so much experimentation. I look at my paintings and I know that it all came from the same place, and there are definitely similarities. I'm really interested at the moment in creating a body of work that obviously comes from the same place with the messages that I'm telling, and also the sort of visual aspect of my work.
And when you're not painting, are you watching television?
Ha! Usually not. Usually I'm reading, but I did watch some TV on an airplane. It wasn't a show, it was Dune.
Oh, okay, I love movies as TV. We'll take it, we'll take it. Well, thank you, Francesca, for inviting us into your home and studio.
Thank you, Topical Cream.